Hello everyone, my name is Bob, and this here is my 1996 Ford Mustang. Probably asking yourself, why is there a Mustang in front of you? And my name's Bob? Well, you'll find out why today. So I'm sure you're all familiar with what this is if you're a car person. This here is a 1996 Ford Mustang, better known to the Mustang people in the generation line as the SN95. The 1994 to 1998 restyling of the Ford Mustang. This is post Fox body, prior New Edge. New Edge you see a lot often. They're the pretty sharp and pretty, well, less rounded SN, even though it's the same car underneath for the most part. It's different on the outside. So yeah, that's what we got here. My car is not that special. We'll find out why. It's not special at all, even though I'm telling you about it. So you're probably asking yourself, well, Bob, why is it not so special? Well, for one, it is a almost 30-year-old car. Being a 1996, this thing is like 24-ish years old. So it's almost there. It's also a complete and utter turd. And I mean that quite literally because I didn't even, I shut the door pretty hard and, well, it's still open. You have to slam it pretty hard. Little fun fact. It also shows its age everywhere. And I will show you everywhere that it shows its age, not only because I drive it every day, but because it's also a shitbox. Prime examples of this car showing its age. The 90s Ford paint job. Now, it is not uncommon for most 90s cars, in particular GM, Ford, and I don't know about Dodge. I haven't really seen that many problems with Dodge unless it's like a truck, I guess. I don't know. Peeling. I washed this off with a garden hose and it peeled. Now, don't get me wrong, this whole half of the car was peeled off, including the other side and like right here. So, it's just everywhere. And it's an old car and it has a terrible Ford paint job that is, well, I guess it's okay for what the car is, considering it's old and, well, it's a shitbox. So I don't really have much more to say about that part of it. Okay, let's talk about a part of this car that really sucks, and I'm sure most people are more interested in this part of the car, because either A, they already know before I even tell you, or B, you're just curious because you're a car guy like me, and anything that makes noises with internal combustion, dopamine, blah blah blah. So, I will show you why this car is a turd and already like one of the worst Ford Mustangs ever conceived by the Ford Motor Company. It gets worse than the terrible paint job and the ugly wheels. I'm sure you've already noticed the ugly wheels. It gets worse. Behold the almighty 3.8 liter SX V6. Not the Cologne. The Cologne is the Ranger engine. By far, probably like in terms of performance, I think a 6-cylinder Mustang from 1966 outdoes this in like every way possible. Was that the 250? I'm not sure. But, ooh, that's a little hot. This is almost a 4-liter pushrod V6 engine, and it makes barely 150 horsepower. I'm not kidding. But I guess it's somewhat reliable other than the heads. Those are not known to go, and this car has already had the top end of the motor rebuilt, simply because the head gaskets blew because the radiator got taken out by a bird. I don't remember. I'll explain more on the history of this car and my life a little bit more later. I'm going to get you up close on this engine. So, fellers, fellettes, people, Apache attack helicopters. Ignore the mismatched fender and the wiring. So that's what we have here, a 3.8 liter V6. No, this does not share anything really indirectly with the 5 liter, you know, the 302, etc., etc. This was Ford's apparently first self-designed engine that wasn't based off another existing engine, but does share the same bell housing as a 5-liter, I'm pretty sure, or at least the I don't know, a couple other miscellaneous things, as well as the intake is not the same. But Ford had this weird thing in the 90s with all their engines that just, quite frankly, I really don't know. What else? Well, not a ton has been done to it, engine wise, other than the top end was rebuilt from like the block up, got new heads, and I mean, heck, look, there's even shiny injector lines on this thing, because I let the car sit before I could start driving it, and well, it's just old car. So now you're inside the car with me, for the most part. This is a butt ugly interior, color-wise. Design-wise, I think Ford did a pretty good job on this. I mean, their idea was that they wanted to restyle what the original Mustang was, throw a retro spin on it. So if you compare this, I'll show pictures. This is meant to resemble the first generation Mustang 66 to like 68, 7. I'm not, as much as I own a Mustang, trust me, I am no way in shape or form a historian or an expert. I just locked the steering wheel. I mean, it's got, stuff. It's brown, very brown. And I've tried to combat the ugly color of the seats with these seat covers I got. Thank you so much, Father. With, more black, because when these have a fully black interior, it's not as bad, but, I mean, it's pretty clean in here, other than I drive this thing every day. It's my daily driver. It's a little crusty, I won't lie. But whose daily driver isn't a little crusty? I think I've seen some worse, much worse vehicles in my lifetime. And you know what? Everything works for the most part in here. I do have an aftermarket radio that I bought from Walmart. It did have one to start with, but it was broken. Like the radio knob volume wouldn't do anything. So it has a $30 head unit from Walmart that I connect with my phone and does pretty damn well. It sounds pretty good. Maybe I'll play it later with some non-copyright music, because I really don't want to get copyright on this video, so it makes it onto the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, other than that, this is the inside of my car. A little torn up here and a little crusty around here and there. And these aren't the original floor mats. These are also from Walmart, and I'm probably pretty sure these are from O'Reilly's or something, seat covers. So I wouldn't get your hopes up too high about the originality of this car, because it is, but it isn't. So that begs the question, what's the story on this car? How is it my daily driver, and why is it my first car? Well, I had a choice, but I also didn't. This car is a little, shall we say, hand-me-down car. This was actually my older sister's first car that she drove through high school and up until she just didn't want to drive it anymore. It has a couple issues that I'll just tell you right now. The transmission, it's there, but when I show you guys some videos of acceleration tests or driving, I'll randomly cut to that. So, editing Bob here. I have to tell you, there's a lot that I did not film and that I actually did film for a good reason. And that is because when I went to film driving audio, the microphone was terrible, the audio was really bad. And so, rather than make you guys suffer, you'll get to see the car driving in another video and some other little things. So, anyways, back to the rest of the video. His was her first car, wanted to stop driving it, so it got parked. And I didn't want the car. I thought it wasn't going to be the right car for me, I wasn't going to enjoy it, but I quickly realized that driving a V8 muscle car that you guys probably can't see in the background, because I own a couple other vehicles, V8 muscle car, Camaro, I know, super cool, was probably the dumbest idea an 18-year-old could have, because I'm dumb and I'd probably destroy the car. This little 150 horsepower V6, make sure that I do not kill myself or hurt myself. So yeah, this was somebody else's car, and it shows it pretty well. It has a dent over there. It's got mismatched paint. This thing used to have a really crinkled up fender on the side. That's why it's red. So this whole side of the car, I had to primer, repaint, not so much the bottom half. And I had to replace the fender and a marker light and the door hinge. I still need to fix the upper door hinge because it barely closes. So it could probably use that fix as well. And so other than that, I've fixed a lot of little other things on the car, like there's new tires on it. I know it has all new brakes all the way around. I fixed a couple electronic things like the blinker stock and the speedometer, which is a really common issue with these cars. The gears inside will pretty much just disintegrate like an Oreo cookie. I mean, I'll show you a picture. The old one was so brittle. I don't even know how it was still working.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
Still need to fix the speedo sensor on the transmission. It is starting to go out, so every once in a while I'll get up to speed and it'll say I'm doing 80 even though I'm doing like 55. 90s car issues, right? So yeah, that's kind of the story on this car. I eventually decided, well, I want this car, and I let it sit another year until I got my license, and I've just been driving the hell out of this thing to work, meet my friends, you know, things that you do with your first car when you're a teenager. So yeah, I'm doing my best to keep it alive. It's had one issue. I accidentally forgot to put the radiator cap on all the way one day, and it blew all the water out of the engine on the freeway. So I was stuck on the side of the road till someone could come help me, because calling a tow truck seems kind of spendy these days when you have family and friends. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, so this is my first car. Is it rough around the edges? Yes. Is it ugly? Yes. Is it slow? Very much so. And I mean it to the fullest degree, that this car is slow and ugly, and it'll get sold. I'm not keeping it forever. It will get sold and be replaced by a better Mustang, or I'm even thinking about buying something bigger and different. Some of you who know me on Discord know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's a threatening vehicle, we'll just say that. So yeah, well, what are we else we're gonna do today? Because we're not done. We are not done. So, something we need to do to the car today, among very many other things, is I need to change the fuel filter. I have one right here. I went and picked it up the other day, and it's been in my car now for a week. So, I'm going to take you along on that adventure of trying to change this without getting fuel all over my night. Well, actually, this is my work sweatshirt and my work pants. So, I mean, who really cares? Fuel filter, and I was going to attempt to change the oil, but I'm pretty sure the bolt pan is stripped, and I'm going to have someone else look at it so that I don't lose all my oil today and I don't have a car to drive. So I'll take you along with the fuel filter and attempt to, I don't know, change it, I guess. So now you join me under the car where the fuel filter is. Now I had to jack up the car a little bit so that I could get under here. Now it's over here in the front of the tank and like a really tough spot, and I'm gonna try to get you guys under here. If not, I will show a picture of where it is, because this thing is held on by a hose clamp and some evil OEM clamps. We're talking some evil what? Don't tell me this thing is like bolted to the car or something, because that would be mighty evil. So yeah, I'm gonna get some tools here I got next to me and figure this out, I guess. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so under here I have found the socket that fits this, my big head. So this is not, so this filter, big filter by the way, sitting on top of a like cup shaped bracket. Okay, so now that it's loose, I think I have to, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take this whole hose clamp off. Cool. I think. Yeah. I will probably speed up this later in editing. So I'm just gonna shut up and work on this. Good thing I bought new ones. What is next? Okay. Yep. This is the part where I use the bucket. No, no bucket. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. There was literally gas everywhere. There's gas everywhere. Gas everywhere. So, filter has changed. You'll see that I'm in a new sweatshirt now, and because I covered the other one in gas, and lesson learned, I should have grabbed a different drip pan and realized the filter is full of fuel. Yay! So, I still need to go take a shower and get the reeking smell of gas off me before it's stuck for a while, and then everyone around me doesn't like me because I smell like gas. So yeah, that's my 1996 Ford Mustang. My pride and joy, daily driver, and well, just it's my car and I like it, and I really don't care what anyone else thinks because it's my car, it's not yours. So anyways, what's in the future? Well, I plan on defogging the headlights and a couple other little things, so it's hard to say, but I'll keep you guys updated. It may be a while because this is my daily driver, and getting time to film is really hard. I had to wait quite a while to film today. The weather isn't perfect. It's winter, December in Washington, and quite frankly, the weather is terrible for filming, but it's the best I could do for you guys on my day off today because I have an actual job, and YouTube does not make me money because I don't want it to. So yeah, thank you for watching and sticking around and watching me be an absolute buffoon as I tried to work on this car. So without further ado, goodbye.